Hey Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into today's video. Let's jump into the latest Eagles news and rumors here on a Thursday. Let's talk about the cornerback position, more specifically a cornerback that Philadelphia, I think, should call right now and demand a trade to bring over one Xavien Howard from the Miami Dolphins. So, there are multiple reports out there today saying that the Dolphins cornerback Xavien Howard wants out of Miami. Now, he really wants a new contract. The Dolphins gave him a new contract just a little while ago, and he wants another new contract because he's gotten even better. I mean, Xavien Howard, very, very good cornerback, and he wants to go ahead and get paid as one of the highest paid cornerbacks in the National Football League. Miami says we just, again, gave you a new deal, and so there go your rumors and how it jump starts into the idea that Howard might want out of Miami. Now, as we know, what does Philadelphia need? I mean, look at the entire roster, right? Yes, there are holes everywhere in terms of the fact that, no, it's not sitting here, telling you today Eagles have one of the best rosters in the National Football League. I think it's very, very good and very underrated, but the big hole is cornerback. And so you see a disgruntled star, young cornerback in Miami, a team in Philadelphia that has draft capital, that has some money going forward in 2022. A trade together, to me, would be an absolutely perfect pairing. So let's start with the ESPN write-up on the whole Xavien Howard situation. Here's a good detail on the money issue that's going on right now with the Dolphins and Howard. Quote, Howard feels like he's outplayed the 5-year, $75.25 million extension he signed in May of 2019, was set to pay him $12.075 million in 2021 and $49.325 million over the next 4 seasons. New England Patriot cornerback Stephon Gilmore signed a 5-year, $65 million free agent deal in 2017. He said makes $7 million this year and is also holding out of minicamp, end quote. Now, Gilmore's a different story. We're focusing on Howard here, but you see, he just signed a new deal, but he still wants to make more than $12 million a year because the cornerback market has obviously changed, and he's worth more than $12 million per year. But you also see why the Dolphins are going, guys, we just gave you a new contract like 2 years ago, and now you want another new contract. That's not how it works in the National Football League. Now, again, there's been no actual sourcing in terms of the fact that, oh, listen, this source says the Eagles are very interested in Xavien Howard. That's not been out there at all. Actually, Pro Football Network had a list of teams that possibly could be interested, and you'll see them on your screen right now. Philadelphia is not one of them. You have the Cardinals, you have the Patriots, you have the Falcons, the Saints, and the Vikings. So, does this mean that the Eagles cannot trade or will not be trading for Jordan Howard? No, I think they 100% should, and I'll explain why here in just 1 second. First, answer this question down below, just straight up. Should the Eagles go ahead and trade for Howard? You think they should? Type Y down below for yes. You think that they should not? Type N down below for no. Okay, here's the deal. As you look at the cornerback depth chart in Philadelphia, what's the big hole we always talk about, right? It's opposite of Darius Slay. Is it going to be Avonte Maddox? Is it going to be Zach McPherson? Who is going to be cornerback number 2? Now imagine, just for a second, the Eagles did trade for Xavien Howard. You put Xavien Howard next to Darius Slay, that instantly becomes one of the best secondaries in the National Football League. I mean, both of those guys can play one-on-one man coverage against the best opposing wide receiver week in and week out. And I don't know if you've looked, but the NFC East is full of very good opposing wide receivers. The Eagles need to call Miami. And this is a simple fact. Yes, they have a lot of draft picks that they want to spend on rookies next offseason. I mean, the hope right now, I think, in Philadelphia is that they have 3 first-round draft picks and they can just go ahead and get a cornerback, and they can go ahead and maybe get another pass rusher, or go ahead and get an offensive lineman, or whatever their big need is. They can just tackle all 3. However, it doesn't guarantee, just because you're a first-round draft pick, that you're going to actually end up being a very, very good player. Howard is already signed, sealed, and delivered fantastic. I mean, he is the real deal. Size, speed, strength, everything is there with this kid out of Baylor. I think Philadelphia 100% needs to go ahead and make a call and bring in Xavien Howard. Even if it costs like a second-round draft pick. I don't think it would cost a first-round draft pick. If a second-round draft pick, you just got to re-sign him to a new mega monster contract, which Philadelphia can move some things around and make happen. I am all for this. Side note, I'm a little biased. I graduated from Baylor. You guys know that. I was at Xavien Howard's pro day when he was at Baylor. And I'm telling you, up close in person, it looked like the guy was going to be a starter in the National Football League. We didn't even realize when we had him in front of us at the pro day this was going to be a future superstar in the NFL. But that's how it works, right? 3rd, 4th-round draft pick out of Baylor into Miami. He's turned into an absolute stud, and I really think, again, Philadelphia needs to go ahead and make a call because you can really change the secondary. I mean, the secondary, I think, got better this offseason with the addition of Anthony Harris. You have McLeod when healthy, Darius Slay, who's a very good cornerback, even though he struggled at times last year, plus young, under 30-year-old Xavien Howard. Man, I am all for it. I'm hoping that this can become a reality. I'm not saying that it will. I'm also not saying there's any legit sourcing behind the fact that Philadelphia could be interested, but I think they should at least pick up the phone and see what the asking price would be for Howard in Miami. Okay, before we're going to keep going, Father's Day is literally just a couple of days away. And if you don't have a Father's Day gift yet, I mean, like, what are you doing? Like, you got to get a gift for your dad right now. And so, we're going to help you out. If you're panicking, have no fear, no need to worry. The Eagles Father's Day box is officially back, as you see up on your screen right now. $80 in value, right now on sale for $49.99. So you get the beach towel, you get the 2-sided garden flag with the metal garden flag pole, and you get the multi-decal sheet. with 3 decals. You get the 7-inch durable stainless steel bottle opener, the slim can cooler 2-pack, and a regular can cooler 2-pack as well. I mean, this thing's absolutely loaded. You see it up there on your screen. You go ahead and pick up the Father's Day box right now, chatsports.com/Father's Day. The link will be down below me in the description box right now, or just Google it up above me, and pick up this Father's Day box. Get the fast shipping. That way it gets there in time for Father's Day. Or if, you just admit to your dad on Sunday after grilling with him and be like, hey, Dad, listen, your gift is coming. It's going to be sweet. I know you love the birds. We're going to get it for you, but it might be a little bit late as well. But go ahead and pick up your Father's Day box right now, chatsports.com/Father's Day. I'll jump into this next story here in terms of Eagles news and rumors. There's a very interesting article out by PhillyVoice.com talking about John Hightower and the potential that he could be on the outside looking in, not only in training camp, but trying to make a roster spot in 2021. Now, this all stems off of a report coming from multiple beat writers who were at Philadelphia OTAs that said that John Hightower, the number, 5th-round draft pick in 2020, did not participate with the 1s or 2s in any sort of wide receiver team activities during the past couple of weeks at OTAs. He was running with the 3rd team wide receivers. And you go, geez, a 5th-round draft pick last year, and he's already delegated to the 3rd team. He has a very, very high and hard uphill battle in order to go ahead and make the roster. Now, here was Philly Voice's write-up on the John Hightower situation. We'll throw that up on your screen right now. Quote, heading into training camp this offseason, Hightower is probably the 7th receiver in the pecking order because he had a strong camp as a rookie. It's fair to wonder if another good camp won't help him as much since he gave the staff in the front office a false positive during the summer last year. The bet here is that he's probably on the outside looking in at the moment, particularly because he played 0 special team snaps last season and will have to emphatically outperform some of the receivers ahead of him to earn a roster spot in the final 53. Now, what they're focusing on here is that it is true. Last year in training camp, we were all talking about John Hightower. He was all the rage. He was dominating in training camp. It was him and Deshaun Jackson who reportedly were looking very, very good. And then you get into the regular season, they're trying to get him the football, and he had a ton of drops. He didn't have a problem getting open. There were a couple of deep balls, which you probably remember during the season, where John Hightower, the ball is right there, and he dropped it. 29 targets, only 10 catches for $167. He does have a long uphill battle. Now, listen, here's the deal. I still believe in Hightower because, again, he can get open. It's not like a Quez Watkins or a J.J. Arcega-Whiteside situation where they can't even get open and not even getting the football thrown to them. Hightower was open in a lot of the plays that were trying to get the ball to him. He just couldn't come up with the play due to drops and due to, obviously, the issue of being a rookie. If he can fix the drops and continue to get open from a skill standpoint, I think he can go ahead and make this roster. The problem is, as Philly Voice mentioned, there's a lot of good young receivers ahead of him. Obviously, Devontae Smith, Jalen Reagor, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside apparently is having a good OTA so far. Travis Fulgham, that emergence is not helping John Hightower either. And so as you look here, the Eagles can only keep so many receivers. Will they keep 6? Will they keep 7? 7's a lot to go ahead and keep on a 53-man roster. And so as we continue to go through the not only OTAs, but the rest of the offseason into training camp, Hightower, along with a guy like Quez Watkins, and a lot of these other young receivers have a lot of work to do in order to prove themselves in order to go ahead and make the roster. Think about Trayvon Grimes. Trayvon Grimes was supposed to be this undrafted free agent out of Florida who had a shot to make the roster. They cut him like 2 weeks ago because they realized this is a very, very deep, or I should say not very deep, but a very young and somewhat deep depth chart from a wide receiver perspective, and it's going to take a lot for a guy like an undrafted free agent or even a 5th-round draft pick in Hightower to work his way up. He's got to beat out, really, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, I think, to go ahead and make this roster. It'll be him versus Whiteside, I think, for a roster spot. Loser is going to go ahead and be cut, and it'll be a sad story either way because one was a 2nd-round draft pick and one was a 5th-round draft pick, and they should not be getting cut in the second and third year of their careers. Okay. Drop a like down below. I think Hightower will make the team in 2021. How do you feel about John Hightower's chances in 2021? Give me a thumbs up if you think he's going to make the final 53-man roster right now on this video. All right, the hunt for 19,000 subscribers is still ongoing. Currently, we have 18,883 subscribers, so less than 200 away. We need your guys' help. Go down below and hit that red subscribe button. That way you guys can be notified whenever we drop our latest and greatest Eagles videos here on the Philadelphia Eagles Now YouTube channel. So go down below, again, and subscribe and help us get to 19K subs as we are very, very close. All right, final story here today on our Eagles news and rumor video. It's a pretty interesting article right now going on about the diamond in the rough is what I've read from multiple different blog websites in terms of Tyree Jackson, who I've got a lot of DM questions on Twitter at Real Thomas Mott asking me about this, and I finally decided to go ahead and just give a couple of minutes to Tyree Jackson and make sure you guys are up to date on the current tight end situation in Philadelphia. So the Eagles did sign the former quarterback Tyree Jackson. He was signed to be technically a quarterback at first, and then it was like, oh wait, they actually signed him to try and convert him over to tight end. Now you're saying, why would you convert a quarterback to tight end? Well, if you don't know, if you're not familiar with Tyree Jackson, the guy is 6'7" and 250 pounds. He was drafted by the Buffalo Bills and did some time with the Buffalo Bills, but obviously not really up to the caliber of a starting quarterback or even a backup quarterback in the National Football League. And so the Eagles are hoping that Jackson, because he's a physical freak and a monster athlete, can do the right conversion and become a good tight end in the National Football League. Now, as we look at the depth chart, there are some issues here for Tyree Jackson. One, Zach Ertz is not shown, but he still could be on the depth chart. And if Ertz ends up being in Philadelphia, then Jackson has absolutely no chance because they just signed Richard Rodgers, and obviously Dallas Goedert is still available. But let's assume the depth chart is as it currently stands, and there is no Zach Ertz there. I would go ahead and put Jackson right there with a battle with Kroom and the undrafted free agent Stoll in order to go ahead and be tight end number 3. And even though Kroom and Stoll have actual tight end experience and Jackson does not, Jackson is kind of turning some heads right now, including from tight end coach Jason Michael, who was asked about him during a press conference this past week during OTAs. We'll throw the quote up on the screen right now. Quote, "It's all new to him. You go back to the simple things like being in a stance, the releases and things. It's new to him every day, and he's taken those strides. And obviously, he has a good mental aspect from football, and that helps him be able to take them into the physical aspect. He's done a good job of that so far," end quote. So, will Jackson become the next, diamond in the rough tight end, a 6'7", convert from quarterback? You can read the headlines right now. Probably not. I mean, let's be real. We don't have any super high expectations, but if he can figure it out, and it's a lot to learn going from quarterback to tight end, he has the physical size to go ahead and give you a roster spot. And you think back to a guy like Jordan Mailata, who played 0 left tackles his entire career, and right now is probably going to be the left tackle going into the season. Anything is possible, and development of Tyree can be something we can keep an eye on and could be pretty darn fun. What do you guys think? I'll end on this. Will Tyree make the team? If you think he will, type 1 down below for yes. If you think he will not, type 2 down below for no. All right, ultimate of the day here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. I'm your host, Thomas Mott. Again, make sure you guys are subscribed as we keep climbing and approaching all the way up to 19,000 subscribers. Hopefully, by that time we get to training camp, hopefully a lot sooner. If you guys have never subscribed to the channel, I encourage you guys to go ahead and hit the red button down below. Ultimate for the day here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. I'm your host, Thomas Mott, signing off the rest of your day.